I've done this for a long time, thousands of cases. Well, you are one of the most prolific criminals that have set foot in this room.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Welcome back to my channel. And if you are new, that wasn't for you. But there are a lot of court channels out here to subscribe to. But this channel is the one that removes all of the boring mandatory stuff that is read into the record. So with my channel, you get the charge, the indictment, the deal, the plea, some of the defense, the stuff that's funny, the prosecutor's points, and finally the judge's stuff. And the best stuff is usually off the record, which is the name of this channel, the one that doesn't bore his subscribers. And now hopefully that's you. If you click that little icon there, and I promise you, my subscribers, that the time you choose to spend with me shall be time well spent. Now, on with the show.
On Miss Marshall's probation report, or pre-sentence report, the only thing that she wasn't sure about whether it was correct or not was on page 2 down in the adult felony court history. There are 2 instances of aggravated assault. The second one on January 7th,
It doesn't matter. Those don't matter because one was refused, the other was dismissed.
As long as there was just one that she
There's a presumption of innocence
Other than
there
that.
unless otherwise resolved against you. And those things are 16 years old and I don't have anything updated.
And on there was a second thing on March 23rd, the injury. She said that she had spoken with Detective Hamilton.
Oh, hold
after
on,
that.
stand by, not filed. I don't have anything.
You're okay with that? Okay.
There's nothing I'm aware of about it until somebody can affirmatively show that there was proof beyond a reasonable doubt, then I really can't punish her for that, can I?
Well, just in case it came into your mind, she warned you that the detective had said that they weren't pursuing it. So.
Okay. I refuse to consider anything that's not been resolved or not proven beyond a reasonable doubt if it's a crime or a bad act. We have a sentence potential cap of 15 months in the state jail. Let's talk about a few things. I want you to address both parties, if you'd be so kind. So she's looking at no less than 180 days up to 15 months. She could be placed on deferred or unadjudicated probation. Plus, she could be sentenced to 15 months in the state jail, and that could be suspended, and she could be placed on regular probation. Go ahead, defense.
I know that the criminal history portion of this report has a lot of events, and but it does boil down
a lot
to
of dispositions.
I'm sorry.
A lot of dispositions.
Yes.
Just not it wasn't an event. It was a disposition, but I mean it's very disturbing. But what's between the lines, between the brackets, are disturbing too.
I understand.
I mean, 50 traffic offenses citation, 25 bad check issuances, which are first cousins to thefts. They're in the family of theft. 7 failures to appear, 2 open out container alcohol in vehicle citations, 1 possession of drug paraphernalia, 1 violation of school compulsory law citation. I think if we added all of this up, let's see, 75, 82, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96 criminal disposition. 96, counting misdemeanors, what I'm considering as Class C misdemeanors in the 4 lines of multiple infractions between the 2 boxes of adult and criminal history, and then the family felony court history. 96 criminal acts. it's hard for you to say that you're innocent.
Yeah, I'm not. That was when I was young. I think it was two.
I'm sorry, how you're here today?
I think I was younger.
What did you learn by those mistakes? You're here today. You're an adult and you're still making bad mistakes.
What I think would be funny here is if Judge Stevens said to this criminal, "Come on now, you have been committing crimes since you were a juvenile all the way through, and you are this old now, and you are still getting caught. You have learned nothing. Nothing. You, madame, are useless as a criminal. People usually get better with practice, but with you, you are just as dumb now as you were when you were a kid stealing milk money. You, lady, are a complete failure as a criminal, and that is the reason I am sending you to prison." And then wait for her response. It would probably be the only time in her life that she tells the truth. And what would that truth be? I'll try harder next time.
Go.
And that's what she told me, that a lot of that was when she was young and over 20 years ago. And although that doesn't mean it doesn't count, just wanted the court to know that it seems to me, if I'm looking at this correctly, the theft related events that happened, this particular case that happened in 2022, and apparently the first time that she had resorted back to that type of behavior in about 11 or 12 years, something like that. It had been a good while. Not that that excuses it, but it does show that she did have a break in any kind of in that kind of behavior and the theft. And I'm not sure why she chose to do this theft at this time, but
We don't even, you don't have a compilation of the dates of the Class C misdemeanors, do you?
No.
Those, I mean, that's, what did we have, 80 some odd? I can't imagine that she committed all of those in 1 year or 2 years or 3 years or 4 years or 5 years, so and how old of a lady are you right now? I hate to ask. 71. Okay.
51.
So you're 51. That's not old.
And most of those
No.
events were when you were in your 18, 19, 20s. And she does have a lot of so even in spite of that type of history, which I recognize would be the type of history that the court would want to go ahead and sentence her to state jail. We are also asking to take into consideration the physical conditions that she has now. She was evidently in a bad wreck in 2015, which caused her rib to lacerate her liver. She had surgery that they removed part of her liver, which has caused all the problems she's having now. And I think she's having another surgery, she believes, in early 2024. And as she's also in a heart failure condition, the probation officer mentions that she's in a life vest, but she can't get it because she can't afford it. And she takes a long list of medications. We would ask the court to
Pronounce her dead.
even in spite of the prior history, to grant her probation, even if it was with a conviction, to grant her probation. I don't think that, I don't know much about what medical facilities and things that state jail has to offer, but she certainly is needing
A coffin.
a lot. And if she would, the court would give her the opportunity just to be able to be on probation, address her medical conditions, not violate the law, follow the rules of the court, hopefully surprise the court that this would be a change that would please the court, that the possibility that probation might be able to help her find funding for
A funeral.
life vest, anything that she could gain from participating in probation physically with her illness, and also in learning to do the things she's supposed to do, which I'm not even sure what her limitations are, except that she does seem to have a lot of medical issues. We'd ask the court to let her stay on, to put her on probation, let her show the court that she can do probation, or you tell the court you can do probation. And if she doesn't do probation, well, then she would still be able to be sent straight to state jail. But at this point, we would ask the court to
Bury her right next to this defense argument on giving her probation.
let her have a chance to be out, deal with her medical conditions, and follow the law.
This look upon Judge Stevens' face expresses the chances of her getting out on probation. It's a look that really does say it all.
She's been given 3 chances at probation. She's failed each time. There's no reason for us to believe that she could successfully complete probation today. That's number one. Number two, her medical situation has been existing since 2015. It certainly didn't stop her from committing this criminal offense. So I don't think that should be a reason why we allow her to receive probation. Number three, there is no restitution that is owed here. The amount that the state asked, bumped it up was solely just an incremental bump, if anything, from when she got her last probation revoked in 2008 and went off and did 12 months. I think we were fair in suggesting 15 months as a cap, and that's what I'm asking the court to assess.
What would you like to say? Defendant.
Well, in 2015, I did have the rape, and I hadn't been in no trouble since I never was on no probation 3 times. I was on misdemeanor probation 1 time and felony probation for theft like shit. And I don't have like a bunch of theft cases. This is like my first or second, and they enhanced it with the theft by check. And I was young, I was like 18, I just had my baby. And I wrote a couple of checks to get stuff for him. But I'm just saying, where I am right now, my sickness, I just wanted to see if I could be on probation so I could get the life business, continue on with my medicine and everything.
When did you get sick?
This year, in 16, I had to have surgery on my liver because it was bleeding. And now I went in the hospital.
I'm sorry, 2016?
Yeah.
Oh.
And recently I had blood clots, and I had to have surgery to get those blood clots removed. And then when I went to the hospital, I couldn't breathe, and I passed out. And they came pick me up for the ambulance, and they told me that my heart would only be 15%, and that I needed a life vest. I have to wear it like every day. Only time I take it off when I use the bathroom, go to take a shower. And I just want to see if I could get probation. I could do the probation. I'm not like I was younger, just watching and doing what I want. I'm got my stuff together now. I think with that death that I did, I know that was wrong. I had to try to get a shirt for my grandson, and I shouldn't have done that. I should have just paid for it, but I was wrong for it. And I just couldn't see that she did grant me probation. I proved to you that I can do probation.
What was it you stole? I'm sorry.
A shirt.
A shirt.
A polo shirt.
This said a total of $390 was stolen, was taken out of your purse.
No,
I don't know if I've been shopping my whole life as a male, and polo shirts don't cost that much.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how they make that. How they police.
Oh, so they're wrong. You're not wrong.
I mean, I had the shirt and like some shoes.
Detained and in the pre-sentence report, that's part of the record that was entered without objection. The total amount stolen, $389.48. Here's my interest. Here's what's interesting is in the pre-sentence report. I'd like you to explain to me where you contrived this idea. A search of your purse led to the discovery of a large silver magnet used in stores to take off security tags and a pair of wire snips.
I do not get the judge's point, as those are common everyday items one would carry in one's bag if one was a robot mechanic.
Well, you just had all the theft tools that any thief ever could ask for Christmas. You're a professional thief. You got 96 convictions of crimes, not counting what's about to happen here. 10 convictions of crimes, a theft, harassment. I mean, this goes back to 1991. You've been committing crimes for 30 years now. Over 30 years. And by the way, not only including this crime, but other crimes were committed since 2016, the date you say you have this heart ailment that has affected your physical ability, but does and your life expectancy, but it doesn't prevent you from committing crimes. That's a problem. It's your criminal history. 96. That's one of the most I've done this for a long time. Thousands of cases. Well, you are one of the most prolific criminals that have set foot in this room. I guess you have used similar kinds of sad stories to others to try to minimize your responsibility. But this is nothing to be proud of, and it's not anything that this court can really sympathize with you. People come in here, everyone comes in here. Maybe one or two out of the thousands have been more prolific in their criminal actions, quantity of crimes more than you. But all of those thousands of people that come before me could say, Miss Tiffany Marshall, she had 97 convictions and you let her kind of sashay out of here. And I'd like the Tiffany Marshall rule, please, because aren't you supposed to be fair, Judge? Yeah, I am. I should be fair. And everybody is to be judged based upon their criminal history and character. And this is not, it is very poor character. And your criminal history is most prolific. This court is not going to change the rule of law, which states people are responsible for their bad acts, their criminal acts. They must be held responsible.
It isn't looking very good for old Tiff at the moment. Just think about her kids, all sitting around the Christmas tree crying because they have no stolen presents to open. So sad. And it's not their fault. It's Santa's, as he's really crap at stealing.
Anything else?
Well, I don't know that all of the theft by check citations were convictions. I know that she said she handled most of her things by paying her checks off. But the other thing is, I would ask the court that if the court is not willing to allow her to be on probation, and even though she got a year, the last time she had a state jail felony, we would ask that you consider something on the low end, 6 months, or even a 1244, even in light of her other problems that we would have to, as the taxpayers, have to deal with because she's so ill. So I would ask the court, if you're going to send her to jail, that you consider something on the low end.
Anything else?
No.
If not, on that argument, truly, then people who are seriously ill have carte blanche to do pretty much anything they want, and everyone has some form of situation health-wise that they're dealing with. Even the most healthy are not perfect, and that is not an argument that the court feels is going to be important in my decision under this circumstance. Your health has not stopped you from continuing to commit crimes.
I just found out about my
You said 2016 is when you're going to change the dates on your illness now?
So,
You're going to change the dates?
no, I was trying to say I just found out about my heart condition like a month or two ago. And I'm just saying the rig brought all these problems on. And I'm not trying to say that just because I want to go home or whatever. It's things that start happening to me.
If nothing further, I'm going to find you have pleaded guilty to paragraph 1 and true in paragraph 2, respectively. Paragraph 1 charging you with the crime of theft, and then paragraph 2 charging that you have 2 or more, at least 2 prior theft convictions, which paragraphs 1 and 2 constitute together a state jail felony. I so find you guilty. I'm following this agreement. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in the state jail for a term of 15 months. You will be given credit for all time that you have served in accordance with this. Your lifestyle, see, Ms. Marshall, you have a lifestyle that you feel shocked that committing crimes should hold you accountable. You have 96 infractions of law, 96, and you are committing these crimes with special tools for getting away with attempting to commit your theft. You have specially made tools that are used in the commission of your crime. You can't, a judge cannot be lenient with you. You cost everybody. You are a one-person crime wave. It's thefts that cost everybody more money at merchandise stores because their theft, the loss is so high. We have to pay for your criminal acts. But after 96 times you have had to go deal with crimes in various courts, from felony courts to misdemeanor to Class C misdemeanor courts, you would have gotten the message, and you never have. You just are a career criminal. You're the very essence of a career criminal. And I wish you wouldn't do that. Thou shalt not steal. You've heard of that one. And it's not only written in moral issues, but it's right there in the law. There's a full section or 2 or 3 in the penal code which deal with dishonest acts, and that's where you are. I'm sorry. I just wish you'd have changed your ways. But like I said, you've been doing this for 30 years. 30 years. Okay.
Judge, can I get some time to get my stuff in order and go to my doctor to get my vaccine?
No, ma'am, not under this situation. The jail is going to be able, those people in the jail take care of people who have medical issues. I trust them. They are good at their job. I'm going to give you a chance during the Christmas season to go out and steal more stuff. I don't think so. Well, you've always done that. You've done that for 30 years, 97 times now.
Tickets, traffic violations. So please. I got my grandkids living.
Ma'am, my God, ma'am, you didn't think of all of that when you made a choice to steal? You didn't think of what you had to lose and the people who rely on you or respect you or look up to you? I've got children. I've got grandchildren. They help me make the right choices, and it's not all that hard to think about them first. And you don't. You just thought about stealing for your needs. I'm sorry. I don't mean to. I hate being the Grinch here, but this is all about law or an order, and this is 97th time. 97th time, my gosh.
It's like all them times it's like tickets and
Ma'am, they were all crimes that you were found guilty of. They were all crimes. All of them were crimes. That is all. And make sure that you inform the jail about your health needs so that they can get the proper medication for you.
Let's go.
That is all. Thank you.
Man, let's go. Let's go.
Okay.
Nobody likes hearing anybody cry during Christmas.
If you have made it this far, then I'd like to introduce you to the end. Ta-da! If you smiled during this episode, please like, and since you're down there, click that subscribe button. Apparently it makes your penis grow. That is, of course, if you grow penises. And if you don't, well, you aren't really missing out on much. If you feel like watching another very interesting case, then click on the episode on screen now, or check out the channel we are promoting in the description.